Thank you for joining Wars of the Roses. As we continue with Part 4, the Glorious Koran from the Adepts in the Eastern Esoteric Tradition by Manly Palmer Hall. Part 4, the Mystics of Islam, the Glorious Koran. The word Quran, Arabic Quran, literally means recitation and indicates the method by which the Suras, or sections of the book, were revealed to the Prophet. Islam is translated submission, and the religion therefore proclaims itself as a faith of submission to the will of God. With a few clearly marked exceptions, the Quran is written in the first person and the speaker is God. The book deals with a variety of subjects, including theology, ethics, and jurisprudence. It has therefore become the foundation of the total Muslim life pattern. Idolatry and the deification of human beings are strictly forbidden. Such religious observances as fasting and pilgrimage are established and defined. The Muslim legal code is founded upon the authority of the Quran, and this brings the religion into direct contact with the private citizen and the concerns of his daily living. Page of a miniature Quran. This manuscript was written on gazelle skin in Kufic characters by order of the Caliph Harun al-Rashid in the year AD 798. And is reported to have been sent as a gift by the Caliph to the Emperor Charlemagne, from Universal Paleography by MJB Sylvestre. Leaf of a 7th century Quran in Kufic writing, a finely executed specimen derived from verse 80 of the 2nd Surah, ornamented in golden colors, from Universal Paleography by MJB Sylvestre. In its structure, the Quran is similar to many other sacred books, but, as always, there are certain differences which became increasingly important as the religion of Islam grew and spread. It is now held that all the sections of the Quran were actually dictated by the Prophet during his own lifetime. The arrangement of the Suras, however, is in some instances arbitrary and resulted from learned counsels by leaders of the faith. Substantially, the book was compiled in the period between the Prophet's illumination and his death in AD 632 or AH 11 to use the Moslem method of recording. The Quran parallels in many ways the Old and New Testaments, and it must be assumed that Muhammad was not striving for originality. The work reveals a profound admiration of the life and ministry of Jesus. The moral codes and statutes of the Quran are heavily colored by the Mosaic law, and this followed into the priesthood, which held to the Jewish persuasion that the priest was essentially a teacher rather than an intermediary between God and man. In its present form, the Quran consists of 114 chapters, each of which has a title and a statement of the place in which it was revealed. Experts are of the opinion that the various sections reflect strongly the period of the Prophet's career during which the surahs were written. It is also a unique factor that certain verses were abrogated, that is, removed or revoked, and other revelations put in their place. After the death of the Prophet, it appeared that some part of his instruction had not been committed to writing. The secretary of the Prophet, Zayd ibn Thabit, was entrusted with the sacred task of assembling all the sections and verses into one volume. For a time, apparently, only this one copy of the Quran existed. Later, this same Zayd was appointed to revise his previous compilation. This became the standard text, and most of the earlier manuscripts were destroyed. Thus, there can be some doubt on particular aspects of the work. But as these revisions are early, they would not have been accepted had they deviated too widely from the popular tradition. The Quran has been divided into 4 general institutes. The broad foundations of faith are associated with the earliest period of the revelation. Under the second heading are listed the procedures and forms of worship, under the third, the ethics or code of conduct, and under the fourth, the moral burden of the teaching, presented through legends, myths, fables, parables, and even historical incidents. The career of Muhammad, as revealed through the writings, is also divisible into 3 epochs. The first epoch reveals Muhammad as unfolding his own belief and setting in motion the spiritual concept of his religion. In the second epoch, the faith takes on a more aggressive form and moves against the idolatrous systems and various other sects within the Muslim sphere of influence. In the third epoch, Muhammad emerges as a ruler over his people, the Prince of the Faithful. with both spiritual and temporal powers. His attitude becomes paternal, and the believers are regarded as his children. As necessary, he makes new laws and revises those which had previously been given. Some have said that the Quran is a sacred commonplace book combining doctrine and diary. Muhammad does not seem to object to revealing the transitions in his own nature which are inevitable to the development of his message. For additional material, check out our video, The Story of the Quran by Manly P. Hall. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe and comment, and if you can please consider donating to Wars of the Roses. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.